As you watch this show, I will give you a little introduction. Okay, my name is Randy. I made this video to share with you my tips and what I believe is important and how parents can be positive role models. As I go through these slides, I may share a few things or just show you the slide, but at any rate, here is what I want to share with you. As you might be aware of the epidemic of childhood obesity, we as parents can do something about it. Well, let's view some of the statistics. Okay, as you see on this slide, the statistics of obesity is really high. There are a few million youths that are obese or even overweight, and that is a large amount of children that are overweight. Children with obesity are bullied and teased more than their normal weight or peers, and are more likely to suffer from social isolation, depression, or lower self-esteem than the normal peers. Okay, now we want to see, what do children really feel? Do we have any idea what they really feel? We as parents, we look at our children and see them, as overweight, but there's an underlying problem why they're overweight. Some children just feel depressed, they're isolated, maybe their peers in school are treating them a different way than their other peers. And sometimes children may go to food for comfort. Well, let's see what children really feel. Okay, well, here we see these are some of the things that children feel. One thing they feel is school bullying. Now, some are teased at school, usually unmercifully. Some eventually dread going to school at all, and they may even drop out. In many cases, this taunting increases with time, and then they become terrified, fearing for their own physical safety. The next one, social stigma. Childhood obesity stigma can often lead to children feeling secluded, alone, and even helpless. It's important for parents to recognize if their child is being bullied or feeling alone, or more so. Bullying occurs in different forms. One of the forms of bullying is being bullied verbally. Now, verbally can be very harmful for one child at this precious age. Another form of bullying is bullying online. Now, you may or may not know or even heard of children being bullied online can often lead to feeling like they want to commit suicide. Parents should really try and see and keep notice on how their child is being um, acting out. Sometimes how they act, how they carry themselves gives little clues to see if there's any change. Another form that children feel is their self-esteem. Being overweight can even be linked to having a weak self-image. It can translate into feelings of shame about one's own body. Lack of self-confidence can lead to poor academic performance also. Another form that children feel is feeling very depressed about themselves. With all this turmoil in an overweight child, he or she may feel as though they don't belong or don't fit in anywhere. He or she may see themselves as an on tease, resulting to suicide, may be labeled as clinically depressed. It's very emotional for children at this age to feel all these things, and parents should be aware of these. Another form is discrimination. Examples of this is being accepted into a prestigious university, have a reduced chance of landing a good job than their thinner peers. Women have a rough time in finding partners. Now, Lord, if you women out there, you should know this, and some of your thinner friends may brag, oh, I got this nice thin man, he's handsome, dark hair, he's a CEO of a company, and then you may feel like, oh man, why can't I get this? Well, overweight adults even feel some kind of pressure. Another form is emotional eating. Some children, as I said before, may go to food because of comfort. And when they eat, it just makes them feel at ease. They don't want to deal with what they've been dealing with. Being overweight may seek emotional comfort in food. Adding even more calories to their plates can lead to diseases. It's very taunting how a child can go through this. Now, as I show you these slides, I myself was once an overweight child. I would give you a little story. When I was in, I'd say, third or fourth grade, I remember being in a gym class. And you know how in a gym, when you have relay races, you have to pick your teams. Well, I remember one day when I was sitting on the bleachers and waiting to be called, to be picked on a team. And I'm sitting there waiting and waiting, waiting. And I'm wondering, why am I always the last one to be picked? Well, years later, I think about these things, and it was probably because I was overweight. I was always the last one to finish, when we had the race. And, that really kind of took me for a loop. So I'm able to relate to all these feelings. And one reason why I wanted to share with you this PowerPoint that I have created is because I've been there, I have shared this, or I've been here. I've been there, and I know what it feels like, and I want to share my experience with children and be able to help them. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, well, now we've seen from the last slide what children feel. Now, we as parents, what can we do to help our kids? Okay, well, let's see. Okay, well, we saw what children go through. Now, we as parents, let's see what we can do. These are 6 steps that I have put on my slide, how we can help as parents. We can be a coach instead of a judge. We can go for the goal. We can recruit additional support from our inner circle. We can design a nutritional plan. But sometimes designing a nutrition plan can help, but sometimes it goes deeper as to why our children are feeling and doing what they are. And we need to dig into that. Organize an exercise effort, of course, that goes hand in hand with the nutritional plan. And also celebrate strengths and talents. Okay, so let's dig deeper into each one of these. Okay, well, one thing that parents can do is we can be a coach instead of a judge. Don't judge your child as, every day you're making comments and criticizing them. Oh, you're too overweight. Sometimes kids don't want to hear that day in and day out. That alone can also, make them feel down, make them feel like they don't belong. The first order of coaching, is communication with your child. Lord, communication, I feel, is one of the key points to knowing how your child feels and find out what's going on with them. There's different levels and different ways to communicate with your child. Sometimes you have to think of when you were your child's age. What did you want? Sometimes you have to bring yourself to their level. Sometimes you have to play around with them and, just be on a positive side with them. Patience is also an important characteristic to develop for weight loss. Uh, Another advice that I have is first order is to coach, communicate with child. You need to be empathetic with them, feel for them. Patience is important to develop a friendship with your child. Okay, let's see what else. Another advice that I have is to go for the goal. You know, if you want to empathize on the process of healthy living, you can reward him or her if they do exercise each week. Just think of it as something positive. Don't only look at them as being overweight. You have to look at their talents, what they're good at. Everybody has some kind of specialty. Everybody has a talent within them. Everybody has something good within them. You got to find that. You got to bring that out. Emphasize progress and process of healthy living. You can reward your child when he or she invests time in doing a certain amount of exercise each week or staying on their nutritional plan. Look at the strengths and talents of the child. Build them up. Don't build them down. That is part of the problem, is that, parents, we want our child to do well, to succeed, to be healthy, but we have to look at the underlying reason of why they feel the way that they do. I know when I was at this tender age, all I wanted from my parents was to talk to me. Now, at that age, I don't know what my parents, what I wanted them to talk to me about, but I just wanted them to feel me and, just to talk. Talking is so important. All right, well, let's see what else. Okay, another thing we can do is we can recruit additional support. Now, the support can be from our inner circle, or we can go outside the inner circle as far as friends, coworkers, mentors, anybody who the child trusts. That's what it comes to, is feeling trust. A sibling can make a real difference in an overweight child's self-confidence. If your child has close friends, yep, try to enlist their support as well. Anybody around you or your child that is a positive person can, come into your circle and feel what you want to do. Let them know what is going on. Just spend time. Have that person spend time with your child. It always helps. Sometimes children don't want to, talk with the parents because of what a relationship they have may not be good. So they may feel better talking with somebody outside, you know. But something has to get done, and that's one reason why I have created this PowerPoint for you to look at the tips that are beneficial for you as parents to do. Um, the amount of children that I see and I have researched is too high. And they also predict that it may even get worse. So as a community, we need to come together and try and help. Okay, well, let's see on the next slide. Another thing we can do is design a nutritional plan. Regularly, exercise and trying to eat better all goes hand in hand. You might need to change the way you cook as a family. You may need to cook more often, which is always better than eating out. It's okay to eat out. I myself eat out. But watch your portions also. Portions plays a big role too. Um, Regularly family meal times and balanced nutritional meals for losing weight have to be incorporated into the plan. Okay, we may know this, but it goes deeper than just eating healthy. Okay, well, let's see what else goes into this plan. Ah, organized and exercise effort. Yes, exercise is always good if we can find the time. That's the whole idea. But you have to try, even if you start out doing 20 minutes to a half hour, twice or three times a week. Just start doing something. It always helps. Um, it always works best if the whole family is involved. Your kids see you exercising. They may look at you in a different way, and it always helps. Sometimes, as parents, organize an exercise program. If you are the leader of that program, your children may look at you as being a role model. That's what we want. And may look at you as an authoritative figure. It's always good. And, as you see here, according to the C stands for disease control, children should get at least 30 minutes to 60 minutes on most days of the week. Of course, that is based on, how much time you have, but you got to start somewhere. Children are desperate for parents' reassurance, yes. In a world that fiercely rejects them because they are overweight, we need to try and bring them up. As I said prior, communication is a real big key. Okay, well, let's see what else I have. Here I have celebrate strengths. Yes, that, as I said before, you'll need to make a true commitment to building your child's self-esteem, fostering his or her interest and involvement. Although we would all like to change our society, but unfortunately, as you know, we cannot change what people feel, what they do, what they think, but we can change ourselves. We all would like to change society to be more empathetic toward and tolerant of those who are overweight, but our first priority is our own children's good health. We have to try. That's one reason I said before why I made this PowerPoint to share with you. And as you get towards the end of this show, I would love to hear what you feel, what you think. Send me your ideas, what your suggestions are. I would love to hear from you. Okay, let's move on. Well, we've seen before what parents can do. Now, the only other thing is we can't leave the children out, can we? So I have developed a slide here. What can children do? All right, well, they can try to eat healthier and implement some physical activity. They can also try and communicate with the parents. So these are all things that we should try and help our children do. But it starts with us because we are the parents, not our kids. Okay, let's move on. Okay, and here I just have to conclude. It just reaffirms what we have gone over on the past slides. All the diseases that being overweight can lead to. Many obese children become obese adults. We don't want that. We're trying to prevent that. One of the best strategies to reduce the obesity is to improve the eating and exercise habits for the entire family, and also improving the child's lifestyle as a whole family, not just the one. Sometimes it really helps as children see the whole family participate. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, and this I reiterate for parents to conclude: be a role model, go for the goal, recruit additional support, design a nutritional plan, organize an exercise effort, and celebrate the strengths. We have to try and look at our children as they are the future, and they all have some kind of hidden talent. If you haven't seen it, it's in there somewhere. We have to bring it out. Sometimes children may not even know they have a talent, and they haven't ex experienced or saw it. There's different ways on bringing that talent out. But like I said, communication is a key. Okay, next. All right, here I have my contact information. There's my website address, my name, my phone number, and my email. I just want to share this PowerPoint with you because these are tips that I feel that are important and that I feel that parents can do to help their child. As I said before, I would love to hear from you, see what you have as an idea or any suggestions you may have. I would recommend, you can contact me via my website or my phone number or just send me an email. Okay, I really, really enjoy sharing my tips with you. And this is my first one that I actually put together for you to share. And there will be more on the way. So look for my tips, part 2. I will send you that link when I am done putting that one together. Okay, I enjoy sharing my time with you, and I am glad that you were able to view my slides. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, that's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed my show, and send me your thoughts. Okay, bye.